Hi all, it's PJ and I'm going to walk you through how to set up your monster block maker.
The Monster Block Maker is designed to save you time, money, and fabric when you're creating quilt-as-you-go blocks. The Monster Block Maker is intended for medium to lightweight density designs, 8,000 or fewer stitches for an 8x8 design.
This is designed to work with the Snap Hoop Monster, and there's a set for the multi-needle and also the single needle. So this is the single needle version. Inside the package, you're going to get a roll of double stick tape and then all of the templates. And there is a 5, 6, 7, and 8 inch size on the templates and written instructions. The first thing that you're going to want to do is apply your double stick tape around the hole on the front and on the back. For the single needle version, you'll apply also on the front side of the hoop, or on the front side of the jig, sorry, the tape at the top and at the bottom. And for the single needle, you only need the metal part of your frame. You're gonna remove the protective paper, and I find that if you use a pin, it helps to get the edge of that up. And then just on the back side of your hoop, make sure you have the upright. So here's face up. This is going to go on the back side of your hoop. And this has been designed so that it fits this frame. And then just gently press down where that double stick tape is. And then you can remove the tape off the front and the back. When you're putting your tape on the front and the back, make sure you press it down really, really well before you remove the protective paper. If you are having trouble with the tape coming off with your block, you're not pressing it firmly enough to the jig. Your tape should last 10 to 12 blocks at least before you have to change it. And when I replace my tape, I just put new tape on top of the old. Before you use your hoop, I would double check the positioning. So I have removed the protective paper just on the back side. And this is just a piece of stabilizer. And I'm just gonna position it here and gently press that down. I would go put that into my machine and then just needle drop at all 4 corners to make sure that it's aligned exactly where you would expect it to be. You want to check the placement of your jig just to make sure that you're not going to hit it. So I have pulled up the appropriate design. This is the 6-inch jig, so I've pulled up the 6-inch design. This is on a Brother machine. All machines are slightly different, but somewhere along the line you should be able to get to this type of a function where you can position your needle. So what I'm going to do is just check all of the corners, and I just do what I call a needle drop just to make sure that the needle isn't going to hit anything. And then I'm going to go to this corner and do the same thing. And you should have an equal distance all the way around, and your needle should not be hitting the jig. And then just put that back to the center. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see the holes in here, but there really are needle drops here, 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 and here, and they are not hitting the jig. So you're all set to go to load up your block. Setup for the multi-needle is just slightly different. This part is all of the same. You're going to apply your double stick tape to the front and to the back of the hole. On the front side, you're also going to add tape around all 4 corners. Here is the Snap Hoop Monster for the multi-needle machine. Here's the difference with this setup. You're going to put the frame onto here, and then your jig is going to attach to the plastic part. This will make your jig ride closer to the plate of the machine, which is the goal. So this basically the same thing. You want this to be right side face up. And I always mark for my multi-needle machine, I mark which direction is the top of the hoop because it will go in both directions. So again, we're just going to take the tape off of this part and then connect it to here. And then again, I would do the needle drop and make sure that this position is correct. You may need to adjust. I know that on my machine, on my multi-needle, I need to bring this up just a little bit. So when I initially stick this down, I do it very, very lightly because you may have to reposition. This is the process for the multi-needle machine to check your placement. Same basic idea as a single needle machine. You're going to bring up your appropriate design for the jig that you have. So this is my 8-inch jig and my 8-inch block. This is an older model baby lock, but it's this function. And again, here you can see that you can just move it from point to point. If you are like me and not tall enough to reach behind your machine to be able to rotate the needle down to see where it's going to drop, there's two things that you can do. First, you can just drop this down and kind of eyeball it, but if you actually want to see where it's really going to drop, leave this here and then do this, and it will needle drop. So that's how I needle drop on my multi-needle machine. And then just go to the next spot. You do have to close out of here because you have to be able to get to this. And basically you would just keep going around and adjust your jig as needed. So that's how you check placement with a multi-needle. This is how to load your block into the block jig. This is the multi-needle setup. The setup is going to be exactly the same for the single needle. You've got your block parts. So this is my back block, my batting, and my front block. The front and the back blocks are kept the same size. And as a general rule, it's going to be an inch larger than what your block size is. So this is the 8-inch jig. So these are 9-inch or 8 3/4 if you want to conserve your material as much as possible. And then your batting is cut smaller, and it's cut so that it will fit inside of the hole. And that's to keep the batting outside of the seam. So to set this up, this is my back block, and I have it face down on my table. I'm going to set the jig over the top of it. And then I'm going to place my batting. And the batting, again, fits inside of that hole. And then my top block goes on the top of that. Right side face up. When I attach my block to my tape, I like to start at the center and just gently move out, and then kind of go up and out and down and out. The newer the tape, the less you will have to press. As your tape gets older, you will need to press more. The tape should last anywhere between 8 and 12 blocks. It kind of depends on your fabric. If you're using really fuzzy fabric or very linty fabric, you're going to need to refresh your tape more often. Also, if you want to make your tape last longer, you can try using baby wipes on it. I know that that works with the non-alcoholic baby wipes. I know that that works with cutting mats. So it's worth a try. Okay, so that basically is just how you load your block. You would then go ahead and stitch. You've stitched at your block. To remove the block, just grab a corner of your fabric, gently pull towards the center, and release the block. So there's your block, and your hoop's all ready to go for the next one. Here's another little tip. If you have got a pre-done block and you want to get some embroidery on that, you can just put it to the back side of the hoop and align it inside the hole, and then just gently press the block to the back side of the tape, and then do your embroidery. The jig really is designed for fairly lightweight quilting designs. I wouldn't recommend this for a completely full, dense, filled embroidery. That's the Monster Block Maker. Thanks.
If you have a machine that's not listed here, you can still use the Monster Block Maker. You would need a minimum embroidery field of 200 millimeters by 200 millimeters. Email me at pj@apjproject.com for more information. All Dime products, including the Snap Hoop Monster and the Monster Block Maker, are available at Montevilla Sewing Centers